Direct Connection is made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities and is made possible by the generous support of our members. Thank you. Live from Maryland Public Television, this is Direct Connection with Jeff Salkin.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in for Direct Connection. Later in our Your Health segment, it is one of the most common forms of cancer. We will hear how doctors are making progress in early diagnosis and treatment. First tonight, the clock is ticking to finalize your holiday travel plans. Where are the deals, and how can you fight the crowds? Joining us tonight is Sal DeFatta with AAA in Towson. Sal, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Jeff.
So the thing everybody wants here is we want low prices and we want low hassles, and this is the wrong time of year for that.
Well, it's never the wrong time of the year. You come into a AAA store. There's many of them in Maryland. We can go ahead and help you all along your travel process, whether it be researching your travel, finding some great deals out there. Go ahead and just getting you prepared for your travel.
Now, back in the day, travel agents knew everything and we consumers knew nothing, pre-internet. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of travel sites. The airlines have their own sites. Do you guys have information or systems that the civilians don't see?
We've got access to some systems, behind the scenes stuff that gives us a little bit of advantage than the normal person out there shopping. So it does help to go to a travel agent and actually still work with them. Say you run into a problem, you can't call Orbitz. You can try to. I don't know how far you're going to get, but AAA, you can call us. We've got 24/7 member care, and we can help you out with any of your processes, any issues you might have, and see if we can help you out with some great discounts like we mentioned.
What kind of issues tend to come up?
You got your flight delays. You got people that might have lost their tickets, or maybe they're at the airport and they need to have someone actually speak with a representative there. So there's all types of little things that can pop up for your travel. Even just navigating the internet nowadays. There's so many websites out there. There's so many deals that pop up, and you're not sure what you're getting. A lot of times you got to read those terms and conditions. If you go out and you're looking for the cheapest fare, make sure you look and see what you're getting there, because a lot of times it might be non-refundable. So you might buy a ticket, get there, and maybe you don't make that flight, and guess what? You lost out. You're not getting your money back.
The other thing that's happened over the last year or two is that it used to be that Southwest was the low-fare carrier, but maybe they've gotten a little bit more mainstream, or now that they have such a stranglehold on BWI, it's not clear they're quite as competitive as they used to be. But you have these newer carriers. You have Sprint, Frontier, I guess, right, where they're just known for nickel and diming you, right, on everything, including bringing a carry-on onto the plane.
Yeah, that's right. At least with Southwest, they still give you the carry-on baggage and check-in baggage for free. JetBlue and these other companies, they do tend to throw in some other fees that you might not see right away. So as you're getting to the end of that purchase, you'll start seeing incremental fees apply, and that price of the ticket has shot up. So do make sure you know exactly what you're getting there with your purchase.
The no change fee on Southwest is a big deal.
Yep, it is a big deal. I think people, they have to know what they're buying when they're buying it. So just be careful. Just really read the details. If you're not sure, call. If you can't call the vendor, call AAA. Let us do the research for you. Let us help you out with that, and we'll make sure you get what you want.
For the consumer travel sites out there, the Orbitz and Priceline and Kayak and so forth, which ones do you like? I mean, if you ever look at one, which one would it be?
If I had to look at one, maybe Expedia. But even then again, being in the business, you get to see what they offer, and then being on my side of things, I can see what the AAA has to offer. And a lot of times when you work with an agent specifically, you're going to get a better deal. You're going to have someone that you can rely on and someone that you can talk to, and it's not just dealing with being a number in a system.
Let me remind our viewers, if you have a question about holiday travel, if you maybe have some travel tips to offer us, give us a call. We'll have the number up on the screen. You could also tweet a question. Our Twitter address is @MPTNews. So say somebody is looking for a flight. The problem with Thanksgiving is that everybody has to be there on Thursday next week. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room. So if somebody wants to fly the day before Thanksgiving, and obviously they should have planned it months ago, what do you do now?
If they haven't purchased their tickets yet?
Correct.
Ooh, well, you're running into some problems there. I would say book it now.
You can attend by Skype, I guess. Right?
Yeah, definitely, if you can, purchase those tickets as soon as possible. If you're waiting to the last moment, do be prepared that you're not going to get that flight that you're looking for. You might have to take a later flight at a later time. If you are traveling that day, make sure you do get to the airport on time. Domestic flights 2.5 hours early. International 3 hours, even 3.5 hours for just such a peak travel time.
Do you have a preference among the local airports? Most of our viewers are within easy driving range of at least 3 big airports,
Sure.
Reagan National, Dulles, BWI, Marshall.
Being from Baltimore, I would go with BWI. I'd rather not fight the traffic in D.C. To get all the way to Reagan and Dulles. And usually it's a little bit less crowded. Maybe not so much as Reagan, but definitely for Dulles.
Yeah, both of those. If you're going to either of those, the D.C. airports on a weekend or at night, it can be a really good experience. Or taking the metro that now gets most of the way out to Dulles, but it can also be a really bad experience.
Yeah, that's right.
How about the other thing that so many people are doing heading up to Thanksgiving, which is getting in the car for a long trip? With the kids?
With the kids, that's
Sounds
right.
like a blast.
What I would recommend, get your kids involved. If you can, get them a map. If they don't want the actual physical map, go ahead and get them the application that we have at AAA. It gives them a GPS on there. You can still go into AAA, get a triptych, get a printed out map if you're looking for those directions.
Triptychs? They still make triptychs?
Still do the triptychs, that's right. You can get out your printed directions. If you got your secret route that you like to travel up to maybe Boston and you have a certain way you want to go, get the triptych printed out.
Let's take a phone call. Cecil County, this is Dale. Dale, thanks for the call. Go ahead.
Hi. Hey, I've got about 300,000 or 400,000 miles on United, and I'm curious about what AAA can do to help one of their members use those miles so that they can travel.
So, Dale, you've been having trouble using them?
No, not really.
Because we'll be glad to help you out. Dale, still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, so what's the question exactly?
Well, the question is, I'm just kind of curious because your interviewer there is from AAA, as to whether AAA can provide services to their members in using their miles.
Got it. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, we can. If you have any miles with any of the different vendors out there, feel free to come into the office. We can go ahead and purchase the tickets using your miles. Not a problem at all.
Really? Now, do you see that the airlines make it? Obviously, you're not going to get that 20,000 point flight on the day before Thanksgiving.
Probably not.
What have you seen work and not work there?
As far as the mileage?
Yeah, being able to use it and get the value that you expected out of it.
Yeah.
A few 100,000 miles, I mean, that obviously gets you to Europe.
Exactly. You can use those miles and apply them for your tickets to and from, maybe one way if you can't get the full package there set up. And they might even offer some other amenities that you can purchase on the website. So it might not just be the ticket you're looking for. Maybe they have a car rental they can make for you. So you can use those miles and take advantage of that.
Yeah, and sometimes it does seem like the inventory, when you're using points instead of dollars, depending on the airline, can be really variable. I mean, you do have to check back every couple of days, and occasionally something opens up.
Absolutely. It's always better if you can book further out. Usually the miles, it's a little less in points that they'll make you use. You'll have more options to choose from. Clearly, if you're looking to book something next week at this point, most flights are going to be booked up, and it's going to be tough to get in there. But do give them a call or give us a call. Let us call them and let us do the work for you. Keep you off the phones for a few hours.
Baltimore City, let's talk to Maggie. Maggie, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
I'm wanting to know, in the early spring of this coming year, I want to travel on one of the 2 top airlines going directly from BWI into Shannon Airport. Any advice on that?
Into what airport?
Shannon Airport in Ireland.
I see. And there are 2 top airlines.
The number 1, number 2, I want to go first class and giving myself a huge treat to go back home to Ireland.
Does BWI even have a nonstop to Shannon?
This is what I'm curious about.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can find out. Thanks for the phone call.
You'd have to check. A lot of times flight schedules are 6 months out, so it's kind of hard to determine what's going to be coming up in the future. As soon as that 6-month period hits, they'll put their flight schedule out there. We can go ahead and check that for you, get you that top first-class flight over to Shannon, and make it a wonderful trip for you.
Yeah, I think from BWI they're going to have to stop somewhere. I mean, there's the British Airways flight from BWI to Heathrow.
That's right.
And I think that's, at least for daily
Most likely.
flights, that's it. Frederick County, this is Amy. Amy, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Amy from Frederick County. We are looking to go to Denver for the holidays. We wanted to know whether or not it would be better to book online or go through like a travel agency with a ski resort or AAA.
All right. I think we'll know. We know what the answer might be here. Amy, thank you for the phone call. Now, you're going to say AAA, but I'm going to make you defend it. Why not just go to Kayak or Southwest has nonstops to Denver, I think.
Sure. Again, with the travel service like ours, you got someone you can talk to. If you want to call me directly, you can speak to me. You got 24/7 member care where you can call in and they'll have an actual person speaking with you, helping you along with your reservation. You call these big companies and a lot of times, who knows where you're going to get, who knows how long you're going to be on hold. You can actually come into my office and physically talk to me. We can sit down and plan out your whole trip for you.
When you think about the time of year, and bad travel experiences I've had have tended to be summertime thunderstorms where, I mean, in the summer you really want to be flying in the morning for the most part.
Makes sense.
Or in the winter you get stuck somewhere in a snowstorm. You're going to need some help.
That's right.
Fairfax County, this is Mary. Mary, thank you for the call. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to know, do you have any good fares for Amtrak going up to Philadelphia?
When are you going?
I mean around the holidays or even during the year.
Okay, Mary, thanks very much. Amtrak can be sort of pricey.
It depends on where you're going and when you're going. It's all comparable, but they do have available fares, going up to here to Philadelphia, like she mentioned. I don't know if they have any specials out there right now, but you can feel free to call.
Right. Well, one tip from an experienced Amtrak guy is you really want to, if you can book that early, you will save a lot of money on Amtrak. Just a minute left. Let's talk about cruises for a second. What's happening out there? Lots
of cruises going on. We got some great deals this winter coming up. Buy one, get one off sales. Some cruises have kids sail free offers. So let's get away from this winter weather that's coming here. Let's get to some Caribbean islands and stay warm.
So you're the only guy in town when winter came in strong and came in early and it's cold and nasty. Your phone starts ringing. You got to like that.
Yeah, people get the cabin fever. They're sitting at home and they're just thinking, how do I get out of this and how soon can I get out of this?
There you go. Sal DeFato with AAA. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me on, Jeff.
Appreciate it. Just ahead tonight, new rules for when insurance must pay for screenings for lung cancer. We'll get the latest on fighting that disease with more of your calls after this.
Tonight on MPT. A special look at a growing problem in Maryland and around the nation.
You just want to stay alive one more night.
Experts in the field call it modern-day slavery. Others call it child sex trafficking.
Slow down.
We'll take you on a police ride-along, and our experts will offer advice for those in trouble. Unlocking Invisible Fences premieres tonight at 10 on MPT.
Hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Watch as Antiques Roadshow visits Miami Beach and explores some of Florida's best and brightest antiques.
This is one of the finest yay rugs we've had on the roadshow.
As a piece of American folk art, as Aptia.
Holy cow.
I'm absolutely astounded.
Don't miss our visit to Miami Beach, Florida next time on Antiques Roadshow.
Tonight at 8 on MPT.
In 1959, the world faced the possibility of a nuclear holocaust.
At the height of the Cold War, America reluctantly welcomed a visitor.
Mr. Khrushchev will spend 10 days or so traveling in the United States.
I was told that I couldn't go to Disneyland. I asked, why not?
He was now the biggest star on TV. Cold War Roadshow on American Experience.
Tonight at 9 on MPT.
And Joining us in the studio now for this week's Your Health segment is Dr. Martin Edelman, Professor of Medicine at the University of Maryland School of Medicine and Director of Medical Thoracic Oncology at the University of Maryland's Greenebaum Cancer Center. Doctor, thank you for being with us. November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. It's a disease that many people probably know a little bit about. What don't we know? What should we know about lung cancer?
Well, I don't think people realize just how big a disease this is. You know, we always have, you know, a million races for breast cancer and, you know, certainly the many other malignancies, you know, childhood cancers. We see the commercials for St. Jude's. What's not realized is it is the overwhelming cause of cancer death in the United States. The deaths each year from lung cancer exceed those from breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer. You can throw in another combined.
Are the majority of the victims smokers, and do you think that stigmatizes the disease in some way?
Yeah, there is definitely a stigma attached to lung cancer. About 85% or so of lung cancer patients are smokers, but actually most of them are ex-smokers. They're people who quit. And furthermore, about 10-15% of lung cancer, which is about 25,000 patients, which to put that into context would be as much as all of pediatric cancer, or say 4 or 5 times that of Hodgkin's disease, are people who never smoked. In other words, they've never touched a cigarette. You know,
spouse didn't smoke.
No,
there was
no. These were not people who were uranium miners or had some other obscure connection. And this seems to be a rising incidence, and it has a different and unique biology.
So the disease itself, is it a different disease? Does it behave differently?
It's, how would I put it? It's both the same and different. It has, it's generally a genetically simpler disease using certain tests and our knowledge of mutations, which has all happened in the last few years, literally in the last decade, much in the last 3 or 4 years. We have very specific drugs, and we're still learning how to use them. But they can produce much more durable and profound responses than we're used to seeing. On the other hand, many of these patients have lung cancer that behaves just like every other lung cancer, or after the newer drugs tend to get resistance to some of the newer drugs, and then we treat them just like other patients with lung cancer.
So obviously it's a disease that everybody would want to avoid, and smokers can quit, or better yet, not start in the first place. But for that population that gets it without ever smoking, is there any way to prevent it?
Nope, not that we know of right now.
Radon, is it anything like that?
There are probably very small issues of environmental risk, but I think that to this day we really don't have a good idea as to why. I think those are areas of active research. But you know, the point is, though, is that smoking is still the overwhelming cause of lung cancer, you know, of lung cancer. And frankly, the overwhelming cause of preventable death in the United States, because still heart disease, other lung disease is an even more significant issue. So the key issue is to get people to either quit smoking if they're current smokers, because the sooner you stop smoking, the better off you are, not just from lung cancer, but from a reduced risk of heart disease and other problems, and really never to smoke.
Let me remind our viewers, if you have a question about lung cancer, give us a call. We'll have the number up on the screen, or you can tweet a question to @MPTNews. We mentioned in the lead-in the screening recommendations have changed, particularly for smokers.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of controversy of this over a number of years, and a lot of statistics thrown around. I think it's very important that people realize that screening reduces the risk of death from lung cancer by about 20%. It's not for every individual. It's for people who were or are smokers above the age of, I think it's 55 is what we looked at. It should be part of a comprehensive program to stop smoking. It needs to be done in the context of a very careful and organized program at experienced centers. It requires a lot of follow-up, very careful readings of reports. It's important to recognize that people, by the time they hit their 50s, if they've been smokers, these scans, what they're called low-dose CT scans, about 25% of the patients will be positive, and 95% of those are false positives. So they need to be followed very carefully, and a careful assessment, because sticking needles in your chest or having operations is not necessarily benign.
Say that number again. What percentage were false positives, meaning the test says there's something suspicious, but you're okay?
Having abnormalities on a chest CT scan is very common. 25% of people in their 50s who are smokers will have an abnormality that will require further follow-up. 90+%, actually probably closer to 95% of those are not cancer. So it's very important that these be looked at by radiologists with experience in it, and then evaluated also with pulmonologists, thoracic surgeons who are knowledgeable about the issues of screening and, how would I put it, exercise proper discretion.
Let's take a phone call. Baltimore County, this is Joanne. Thank you for the call. Go ahead.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I am a former smoker. I quit 28 years ago, and lung cancer runs in my family. My mother had it, her brother, her sister, they all died in their 50s, and they were all active smokers at the time of their death. What can I do? Is there a gene or something, some way to give, like breast cancer now, they can tell that you may be more likely to get it. What can I do?
Joanne, thank you so much for calling. We'll get you the answer on the air.
So basically, that's where low-dose CT scanning comes into play. I think at 28 years since you stopped smoking, congratulations. That's very important. That is, you've done the key thing, which is you stopped smoking, and that's the hard part. Screening at this point, your risk of lung cancer is going down. It's not that of the person who never smoked, but it's substantially lower than others. If you're above, say, 50, 55, you could consider low-dose CT scanning. But at 28 years out, your risk is substantially reduced. And just other aspects of good health. We do not have a blood test or genetic test for lung cancer.
What's happening on the treatment side?
So treatment is, I think the most important thing with treatment is that once a diagnosis of lung cancer is made, that staging, the evaluation of the extent of disease has to be done very carefully. It's kind of like if you do work around your house, the old thing, measure twice, cut once. And I think that's really critical. You need to be carefully evaluated, preferably in a multidisciplinary program where all the specialties are represented before a decision is made. In other words, not just a thoracic surgeon, a radiation oncologist, medical oncologist, pulmonary physicians, and a comprehensive treatment plan approached. Depending upon the stage, the extent of lung cancer, there are options, surgery for the localized disease, or for patients who can't have that, stereotactic radiation, very concentrated radiation, very specialized technique. Many of those patients with chemotherapy to prevent recurrence, locally advanced, the combined modality of treatment of chemotherapy, radiation, sometimes surgery, and then in advanced disease, a whole plethora of new approaches.
In just a half a minute, you spent a lot of time on research too. Right. What's promising there?
So I think the most interesting aspect of lung cancer therapy right now has been really in the last 24, 36 months has been immunotherapy. We've always known that cancer suppressed the immune system, and there were hints of this. Certain diseases have been, renal cancer, melanoma, have been associated with responses to earlier versions of immunotherapy. What has been startling have been the responses, some of them quite durable, even in advanced patients with new immunotherapies.
Dr. Martin Edelman, University of Maryland School of Medicine. Sir, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, a program note, tune in tonight at 10 o'clock here on MPT for a special look at a disturbing and growing problem here in Maryland.
It's a matter of time, and something bad's going to happen to you. It's the statistics show it's going to happen. Right? You're going to get robbed, you're going to get raped, you're going to get beaten, and God forbid, you might end up dead.
Corporal Chris Hyde with Maryland State Police hopes his warning will serve as a reality check for two suspected prostitutes he encounters in an Anne Arundel County motel.
we're going to photograph you before we leave here. We're going to photograph your tattoos, and we do that for, and not to scare you, but we do that for identification purposes.
ID, in case the next time he sees them, they're not alive. One of the girls who can barely sit up says she's strung out on heroin. The other tells us,
I've been robbed, I have been raped before.
Unlocking Invisible Fences premieres tonight at 10 and will be streaming live at mpt.org/fences. Thank you for joining us for Direct Connection. We're back Thursday at this time with your money and business. Now, for all of us here at MPT, I'm Jeff Salkin. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Your health segments are a co-production of Maryland Public Television and the University of Maryland Medical System.
This program was made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities.